So here's a question for you. Are you nervous or afraid that if you fully step into your power, like you own your badassness, no more people pleasing, no more victim, no more just like owning your gift, your lights, all of it. Is there a part of you that is afraid you're going to lose your relationships in your life? Is there a part of you that's afraid if I become, if I shift, if I change, if I grow, that I'm going to lose people in my life? So just think about that for a moment, because I hear this often and I'm actually experiencing it myself right now. Um, so I'll share a quick story with you. I'm in an upgrade. It's like so many people right now, we're in an upgrade. We are in the great awakening. It is happening. That's why there's so much chaos right now. And many of us are choosing to wake up. And many of us are choosing to grow even more, to step into our power even more. And I have been doing that for the last year. I mean, I've always been on a path of growth. That's just because it's my life. And I'm dedicated to your growth as well. However, there's been some kind of like shift and change of very deep power coming in. And I have some people in my life that aren't loving it. And what's happening is I realize that it's the people pleaser in me that's starting to shed, is starting to release. And it's ruffling some feathers. Now, here's what I'd like to invite you. Like, if there is a part of you that feels that way, and I've heard this from clients, I've heard this from people over the years, that if I get better or I go into my power, I'm going to lose my X, Y, and Z. And you know what? You might. You might. I'm in that right now. I'm in it right now. Some people, when we often meet people and we connect, whether we realize it or not, through our wounding, especially if we haven't worked through things or yet, you know what I mean? A lot of people connect through their trauma bond, their victim story, their wounding, or they connect through gossiping, or they connect through some sort of other ways. It's not true intimacy, right? And then one person, let's say you connected in a way through certain vibration or a certain wounding, or a certain like life experience together, and one person starts to grow and starts to grow out of that. It leaves the other person feeling like, what the hell happened? What? You're not meeting me here anymore. We're not bitching about the same thing anymore. We're not commencing in the same way. We're not doing the same things. You're growing. You're meeting new people. You're different. And then it creates a rift in the relationship, especially if the other person's not growing. So often people will hold themselves back from not growing, not stepping into power, because they're afraid. They're afraid they're going to lose their relationships. Now, if that happens, here's what I'll say. Yes, it's hard because I'm in it right now. I'm in it, and I've had a few experiences recently, and it always comes in threes. Always comes in threes, right? Where people are like, they're just getting rubbed up against things I'm doing or saying or being. And it's, from someone who is like, I have like abandonment stuff, right? Like I lost both of my parents by the time I was 5 years old. Like I have that. So the people pleaser in me is like, don't leave me. Don't leave me. Don't tell me I'm bad or wrong, when it's really not about me. But my growth, my power, is my expansion, me being of service to you, to the world, to myself, to my family, is way more important than someone's reaction to it, as sad as that is. And while I'm willing to work it out, while I'm willing to talk about it, it's hard. It's painful. So if you have ever had those thoughts, like or have held yourself back because you're afraid of losing people, I would invite you to get really honest and really real with yourself. Like, is it worth it? What is more important? And even if you did and you decided, like, I'm going to keep going, I got to grow, happens a lot in relationships, right? The reason, a lot of the times, the reason relationships, romantic relationship, husband, wife, partners, the relationship dissolves is because one person is growing and the other one is staying stagnant. And they've met in a very certain way, they've met in a vibration, they've met through their wounding, whether it was on a subconscious level or not. We match, boom, we're like puzzle pieces. And then one person's expanding and growing. The pandemic did this for a lot of couples. One thought one thing, the other thought the other. One was waking up, one was in fear. And it broke up a lot of couples. And then you had all the other crap that was going on, which we won't talk about, all the brainwashing and the bullying and all that. But like a lot of couples came to the realization we're not on the same page. And at the end of the day, they hadn't been on the same page in a long time. But that just like brought everything to the surface. And many couples stay together out of fear of loss, fear of being alone, fear of not being able to do things, to hack it without them. And I get it. Oh my gosh, I get that. So if you are holding back your power because if you're afraid, if I do this, what's going to happen? It's just a great question to be asking yourself, what's more important? What do you value more? And you might use the argument, well, I love that person and I don't want to abandon them through my own growth and my own expansion. But can there be both? Can there be both? And if you have someone in your life that's asking you to not grow, to stay with them, then there's even deeper questions to ask there. My husband and I almost got divorced I wouldn't say divorced, but we were going to separate probably a year and a half ago or so. And we were just at that place of like, it was like, I'm growing. You either going to come with me and do your own work or you're not, but I'm going this way. I'm going this way and I love you and I want you to come with me. And guess what? He did. He started doing his own, got a coach and doing therapy and working with the shaman, and everything is really good. Everything is really good and we're growing together, but we weren't before and it was going to break us up. But he was willing to do it. And sometimes there's couples and they're just not willing. So it's up to you. And a lot of people stay in abusive relationships for all the same reasons that I'm talking about. And if you're in a job and you've just outgrown that job and you're like, I'm ready for something new. A lot of people have been conditioned to stay. And there's also the practicality of I need an income, right? I need an income. And if you're in a job that's not lighting you up, what can you do? And you need that money, you need that income, which we all do. What can you do to continue growing outside of the job? So my invitation to you is, and I've said this so many times, and sometimes I feel like, to be honest, I feel like I wish I could just get some time to be like, wake up, people! We are in a massive expansion. And at the end of the day, the work that you do on yourself and the way you show up and the way you love, yes, you get to have money and things and all that, but the way we show up and the way we love and the way we grow matters. Your power matters, you matter. And while I can speak from experience right now that there are some breakdowns because I'm growing. And it's hard. But I got to ask myself what's more important. It's intense out there and it's beautiful and it's amazing. And the more empowered you feel and the more at peace you feel with yourself, knowing where your magic lives within you, the easier things are going to be. So these are some powerful questions to begin asking yourself. All right. My name is Beth Osmer and I will see you on the next video.